The story of the Bluff begins on a violent night at sea during a raging storm. A merchant ship commanded by Captain Th. Bodden struggles against crashing waves and fierce winds while a gang of pirates attacks without mercy. The pirates slaughter the crew demanding gold and goods. Captain Bodden tries to defend his men insisting they are only humble fishermen, but the attackers care nothing for innocence. During the massacre, the mysterious pirate leader Captain Francisco Connor appears. Connor is feared across the seas, a hardened pirate obsessed with recovering stolen gold that bears his personal mark. When he discovers one of those marked gold pieces aboard Bodden's ship, he becomes convinced that the captain knows the location of a hidden treasure. Instead of killing Bodden immediately, Connor orders his men to spare him and set course for Cayman Brac, where Bodden's family lives. Far away on the peaceful island of Cayman Brac, life continues in calm ignorance of the approaching danger. The villagers gather in church praying for the safe return of the missing sailors and Captain Bodden. Among them is Ursel Bodden, the captain's strong and determined wife, who tries to remain hopeful despite growing fear that something terrible has happened at sea. Living with her is her young son Isaac, a clever disabled boy who wears leg braces but possesses a sharp mind and brave spirit. Also living nearby is Elizabeth, called Lizzie, Ursel's restless sister-in-law. Lizzie dreams of escaping the tiny island and starting a new life elsewhere with her lover Weston. While Ursel works hard caring for Isaac and managing the household, Lizzie secretly plans to run away at dawn with Weston, hoping finally to see the wider world beyond the island. The contrast between the quiet island life and the brutality at sea creates growing tension. Ursel continues trying to reassure Isaac that his father will return safely, although even she is beginning to doubt it. Isaac senses something is wrong because his father promised to return before his birthday. To comfort him, Ursel gives him a mysterious object left behind by his father, warning him that it is not a toy. The object immediately feels important, hinting that Captain Bodden may have been involved in something much bigger than ordinary fishing. During the night, terror finally arrives on Cayman Brac. A group of pirates led by brutal men named Scout Chian and Lupe silently invades Ursel's home searching for gold. The atmosphere becomes deeply suspenseful as Ursel hides with Isaac and Lizzie while the pirates move through the house whistling and laughing like predators enjoying the hunt. The pirates are cruel and sadistic, mocking the frightened family while tearing apart the home searching for hidden treasure. Ursel fights back fiercely, injuring some of the attackers despite being outnumbered. The pirates discover gold hidden behind a portrait and become convinced that much more treasure is concealed somewhere on the island. Scout especially believes Ursel knows the truth. They violently interrogate her, threatening her family and beating her while demanding information. During the struggle, it becomes clear that Ursel possesses unusual combat skills and understands the Shisho language spoken by some of the pirates. This surprises the attackers and hints at a hidden past that even the audience does not yet fully understand. At the same time, Captain Connor himself arrives at Cayman Brac with a larger pirate force. Unlike his savage crew, Connor carries himself with cold intelligence and theatrical calmness. He speaks politely while threatening destruction, making him even more frightening. The island custodian attempts to stand against him, proudly declaring the island protected under British rule, but Connor mocks the weakness of empires and makes it clear that he answers only to himself. Connor's men row toward shore while armed islanders prepare defenses, but Connor effortlessly crushes their resistance. A sniper shot kills one defender, demonstrating the pirates' superior weapons and discipline. Connor announces that he has come to collect a debt connected to Th. Bodden and demands the surrender of Ursel. He promises no one else will be harmed if the island cooperates, but his promises feel hollow. Chaos erupts as frightened villagers rush into the church while the pirates invade the settlement. The custodian refuses to reveal Ursel's location and curses Connor before being killed by cannon fire. The destruction shocks the villagers and proves the pirates are capable of annihilating the entire island if opposed. Meanwhile, Ursel continues resisting Scout and the other pirates inside her home. During a savage fight, she displays astonishing ferocity, killing and injuring several attackers despite being restrained. Her rage is fueled by fear for Isaac and desperate need to learn what happened to her husband. She repeatedly demands answers, but the pirates reveal little beyond the fact that Connor is searching for something valuable connected to Captain Bodden. After surviving the attack, Ursel escapes temporarily and reunites with the island pastor, one of the few remaining people willing to help her. The pastor reveals that Connor has landed with many more pirates and heavily armed forces. He also admits that the pirates are searching specifically for Ursel because they believe she alone can stop them or lead them to the treasure. During this conversation, another layer of mystery appears. The pastor calls Ursel captain, causing her to angrily order him never to use that title again. This moment strongly suggests that Ursel herself once lived a violent life connected to piracy or warfare, a past she has tried to bury while building a peaceful family life on the island. Isaac accidentally reveals that Lizzie planned to abandon the family and run away with Weston. Although upset, Ursel focuses on survival. She gives Isaac instructions to flee with the pastor through hidden mangrove trails toward a secret location near the Bluff. Before sending him away, she arms the pastor with a flintlock pistol and tells Isaac to use the mysterious birthday present from his father if necessary. The emotional scene highlights Ursel's determination to protect her son at all costs, even if it means separating from him temporarily. At the same time, Lizzie's escape plan collapses into tragedy. Weston has already been killed by the pirates, leaving Lizzie terrified and emotionally shattered. Ursel eventually finds her hiding in panic. Instead of abandoning her despite her selfish decisions, Ursel comforts Lizzie and convinces her to keep moving because staying still means death. Their relationship becomes more emotional as Lizzie realizes the harsh reality of the world she once romanticized. Connor's crew continues hunting across the island. The quartermaster organizes search parties while Scout reports that Ursel is far more dangerous than expected. The pirates discover that she has a son with limited mobility, giving them another possible weakness to exploit. Yet even as the pirates spread across Cayman Brac, Ursel remains one step ahead, using her knowledge of the island terrain and her hidden combat abilities to survive. Forced into movement, Ursel and the others flee toward the river. In the chaos, Elizabeth and Isaac are separated momentarily but regroup as Ursel continues fighting through ambushes. The jungle becomes a battlefield filled with gunfire, screaming, and collapsing branches. At one point, a caiman attacks a pirate in the water, adding to the chaos and allowing the group a brief escape. Ursel's survival instincts and combat skill become increasingly apparent as she kills multiple pursuers in close combat using blades, terrain, and ambush tactics rather than firearms alone. As they regroup, Elizabeth demands answers about Ursel's identity. Ursel finally reveals the truth. She was once a child taken by pirates after her parents were slaughtered at sea. She was raised in captivity, forced to survive on a pirate ship, and eventually became part of Connor's crew. Over time, she became known as Bloody Mary, a feared pirate captain who eventually betrayed Connor, stole his gold, and escaped. She later abandoned that life, changed her name to Ursel, and tried to build a peaceful family with Th. Baden on Cayman Brac. This revelation reframes everything. Ursel is not just a victim or protector, but a former legendary pirate who once stood beside Connor as his equal. Meanwhile, Connor's forces continue searching the island, frustrated by Ursel's resistance. The quartermaster expresses concern that the obsession with her has overtaken the original mission to retrieve the gold. Connor dismisses this, insisting that the gold is meaningless without victory over Ursel. He reveals that political powers have even offered pardons for capturing her, meaning her capture would grant immunity and a new future for his men. He rallies his crew with promises of freedom and legitimacy, turning their greed into loyalty. Ursel brings Elizabeth and Isaac to the hidden cliffside caves inside the Bluff, a fortified structure containing old weapons, tunnels, and supplies she once prepared for survival. The location reveals her strategic intelligence and preparation for war. She explains that Connor must be stopped here. Escape is impossible because he would pursue them anywhere. She decides to turn the caves into a battlefield. Inside the caves, tension rises as they prepare defenses. Isaac is frightened but begins to show bravery, while Elizabeth struggles to accept the violent reality of Ursel's past. Ursel prepares traps, weapons, and choke points, transforming the space into a deadly stronghold. She teaches Isaac and Elizabeth how to survive the coming assault, assigning roles as if they are soldiers rather than civilians. Her plan is simple: delay Connor until dawn, then signal the British Navy using a smoke pyre. Connor's men arrive and begin their assault on the caves. Gunfire erupts as pirates attempt to breach the entrances. Ursel uses explosives, traps, and ambush tactics to kill multiple attackers. The caves echo with explosions, gunshots, and collapsing rock. Elizabeth is forced to fight for survival while protecting Isaac, and both are dragged deeper into the tunnels as pirates press in from multiple directions. Scout, one of Connor's most brutal men, personally hunts Ursel and her group through the caves. He captures Elizabeth briefly and taunts her, revealing his cruelty and obsession with breaking Ursel emotionally by targeting her family. However, Elizabeth manages to escape during the chaos, reuniting with Isaac as Ursel continues fighting elsewhere. The battle intensifies. Ursel confronts Scout directly in a brutal close-quarters fight, ultimately killing him in a vicious struggle. Her transformation into Bloody Mary becomes undeniable as she reclaims her identity in violence, not as a return to corruption but as a weapon of survival. Around her, the caves become a collapsing war zone of smoke, fire, and blood. Connor finally arrives at the heart of the stronghold, confronting Ursel directly. He reveals his knowledge of her past identity, mocking her attempts at reinvention. He also captures Th. Baden, who has been brought to the battlefield as leverage. Connor offers a cruel choice: surrender the gold secret or watch her family die. Ursel refuses to yield. In the chaos that follows, explosives detonate throughout the cave system. Pirates are killed, tunnels collapse, and Connor's forces begin to fracture. The quartermaster questions Connor's obsession, but Connor kills him when he challenges his authority, revealing full descent into obsession and madness. The final confrontation takes place near the cliff edge overlooking the sea. Connor and Ursel fight in brutal hand-to-hand combat. Their history is revealed through dialogue. They were once partners in piracy before betrayal tore them apart. Connor believes he made her powerful, while Ursel insists she survived him rather than belonged to him. The fight ends with Ursel mortally wounding Connor after a fierce exchange. Despite his final attempts to dominate her psychologically, she rejects him completely. Connor dies acknowledging her as his Mary, but she no longer belongs to that identity. She chooses her own name, Miriam. As dawn approaches, the British signal pyre is finally lit, sending smoke into the sky. Connor's remaining forces are either dead or retreating. The island is safe, though scarred by destruction and loss. Th. Baden survives, and Isaac and Elizabeth are rescued from the caves. In the aftermath, Ursel, now revealed as Miriam, steps away from her violent past. The villagers gather, recognizing her sacrifice even if they fear her history. Isaac accepts her as both mother and protector, no longer only defined by violence but by the love she fought to preserve. The film closes with Calm returning to Cayman Brac. The sea that once brought destruction becomes quiet again. Miriam stands at the shore, finally free from Connor's shadow, while the memory of Bloody Mary fades into legend, replaced by a woman who survived both piracy and her own past to protect the only family she ever truly chose. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.